Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today we are going to be playing Adjusted Titan. We're going back into the timeless format where we're going to play some more games. However, we did make a couple of changes. We added a Crater Hoof Behemoth into the deck based off suggestion. In the comments below, somebody said, well, if you can't get over the hump, why not give them all XX and trample equal to how many creatures you control? And I said, that's a great idea. Let me slam the big Ooga Booga guy in and we'll have a good time. Outside of that, because of how many Luris decks there are and burn decks there are, we have added 2 Chalice of the Void into the main board. A card that's kind of been forgotten, I think, in this timeless format. So it enters the battlefield with X counters on it, most of the time 1. And then whenever a player casts a spell with mana value equal to the number of charge counters on Chalice of the Void, counter that spell. And you might be thinking, just a real quick note, like, what are we doing? We have 8 1-drops. 1, we can channel this later. Does not get countered with Chalice. 2, we want to play these beforehand. A lot of these games turn out where we play one of these, ramp on turn 1, and then on turn 3, we play an untapped land, play the second one that we have in our hand to ramp, and then still play the Chalice on 1, and it works perfectly fine. The other thing as well, because Chalice of the Void does counter spells, we can play Cavern of Souls, naming Beast, which our Boreal Grazer is a beast, and our Crater Hoof Behemoth is also a beast, so it can be played early, force a Grazer through our own Chalice if needed, and then we can also use that same Cavern to cast our Crater Hoof Behemoth later in the late game if that comes down to that. Outside of that, let's go ahead and hop into the games. A little bit longer of an intro, but I wanted to explain some of the changes that we made and why, and get that out there right away. So let's go ahead, hop in, and let's get these games going. Yeah, our opponent goes first, and we have a Chalice potentially to play on turn 2. So sure, we'll get a little bit of value. And the reason we say Chalice is good here is because of the Luris. It's potential we get to kind of pop off. No Thoughtseize. With Spear, sure. The aggro burn version of the deck is actually better for us. Once upon a time we have kind of lands, but I stand to have more, I guess. We just don't have any like way to find a threat, so I'm actually gonna grab this instead. Play Forest, play Grazer. Go ahead and throw the battlements in. Now next turn we can play land, play second Grazer, put it in other land, and play Chalice on 1. Then we'll just block with this Grazer here. That's messed up. First we block. Like we said before, we'll just play fetch land. We'll go grab a non-snow covered forest. We'll go grab a regular one. And then I will play a Grazer on 1, putting in a Wooded Swept Heath, keeping our Boseiju potentially. Put this on 1, throw it in play. Now we'll just see how the game goes from here. No, I'm taking a lot of free damage here, but of course, just Eidolon right off the rip on the back end. Field of the Dead is fine. 3 mana, right? Yeah. I literally highlighted it, didn't even look, because I just know it is. Activate. Put in, I guess, Stomping Ground. Play Field of the Dead. Play this. Grab a Primeval Titan. Sure, we'll take our damage. We know we have to. We'll get a Prime Time. Obviously, we'd love to get the Titan of Industry. We just can't afford to. Got these things with Menace coming in. Then we have the creatures that are obviously actively in. Blocks, just preserve life total as much as we can. That's the name of the game for right now. And then it'll be play Boseiju, go get a Radiant Fountain. It'll be go get Radiant Fountain plus other Field of the Dead, I guess. Blunking's nice, but it's not nice enough right now. We'll play Boseiju. We'll play Primeval Titan like we said. And it's Field of the Dead. Field of the Dead plus, I guess, yeah, I think it's Radiant Fountain. create like a little bit of buffer on our life total here. And then we pass, and now we have all the blockers in the world. So their attacks don't do a lot. Their 1-mana spells do nothing because we have a Chalice of the Void in play. I love chalicing people in the main board. And with how popular Lurrus is immediately, it definitely just feels great. Oh, you took more damage to cast that than I would have. Will you attack? That doesn't really work. Block. Actually, well, Monster's Trade can't do it. Frick. Come on now. I keep forgetting I have a Chalice. To be honest with you. Block like this, I guess. Block all out. I'm like, why would I ever potentially sacrifice my Titan to a monster trade? I'm just so used to standard that it's insane. Let's play second Titan. Titan's good. I'll give it haste. We'll hit for 12. Put in a ton more creatures. Oh, we go first. I mean, Lurrus, this one. Yep. Like, yes, sir. Indeed, I will. We'll play Grazer. We'll just go ahead and throw in this Wooded Foothills. We don't want to name anything off Cavern right now. Should be pretty obvious what we're playing because like no other deck can really play Grazer. We're just hoping to avoid Thoughtseize. Fantastic. Here comes a Bauble to trigger the Dragon Rage Chandler. Happens in Modern, of course. That happens here. Why wouldn't it? You do this in this pattern, so obviously you get to look at your top card. If you keep it, now you can Bauble me for free. Then we can really trick them. We can on our upkeep fetch, and then they won't know the card we draw. But oh, you think they're pumped about that one? Oh, that's so funny. Do a gate, play a Cavern, named Giant, and then put a Chalice in on one. Hope we give them the worst day that they've ever had. Then we will. Oh man, knowing people play Lurrus the most right now is just so funny. It's so funny. Go first, and this is our opener. I'm not a fan of like this being in our opener, but I like this. I mean, we'll keep off the back of one spell specifically. This is going to go get a basic forest. We don't really want to shock in Stomping Ground against a potential aggro matchup here. And then we'll play a Grazer, put in this Castle Garenbrig, and then we'll most likely end up playing land, channeling the Kami to get more forest so we can accelerate to this Primeval Titan. We'll get Thoughtseized here. Definitely could. It's possible. We'll see what our opponent does. That's a Ragavan. Sunken Citadel. Okay. Now, because the way our mana works, we can actually play this on green, and then play a Cavern, and then play Kami, and then it should work either way, right? Let's play this green. Then we play the Kami. Then we only need 3 lands to activate Castle when Sunken Citadel's in play. Then we'll name Giant. Then we'll wait. We'll hold the line. And now we have a couple of options. We can draw a Natural Order, get a Primeval Titan. We can draw a lot of other things and get a Primeval Titan in play. We just don't need Thoughtseize. Lightning Bolt here, I will trade off the Kami. Because again, we have a Primeval Titan. Now, could they land, do whatever? They could. But I don't care. Primeval Titan. Now we take a look. We obviously go get Field of the Dead, and then honestly just grab a 8 here. And we'll just play a Lair, triggering Field of the Dead. And now we have 8 power in play. They have 1 land because they kept a 1-lander. Dragon Rage Chandler, sure. Dragon Rage Chandler's fine. I do the cool thing here. I can't. I'll just put this in play, sure. So I know that's like a bully thing to do, but what I wanted to do and what I thought was going to be really, really cool is I was hoping to bring up this layer of the Hydra for 1 mana and then play the Crater Hoof, because then the Hydra would be able to attack and then these would also be able to attack and then it would just be lethal pretty much. But right here it's, oh wait, this has haste. Like, never mind. I'm sorry. I forgot this thing had haste. I think it, so I know it gives everything trample. So I think the keyword on it is just trample, not haste. My bad. It's just lethal regardless. I don't know why I tanked for so long. That's toxic. That's on me. And I'm sorry. I forget that that thing has haste. Okay. So opponent goes first. They've taken a mulligan. We will keep this. We have an accelerator. We have a way to maybe find a castle, which would obviously be great with the Primeval Titan. The only problem is we don't have an additional green to kind of pay into it. They have hexproof. Fair enough. That's fine. I get it. But it's like the deck playing with black mana would assume that you're like the Thoughtseize kind of deck. You could just stop them dead. Who knows? Not me. So with the amount of lands and the potential for a Once Upon a Time again, and we can also channel this, there's a lot of things we could do with this. So we'll just grab another one. And they don't know it's another one. We'll play it. We'll have it enter. I can't Bajuka Bog them. Look at them go. They're nuts. Put in Field of the Dead. And we'll go from there. Depending on what we draw, if we draw another forest, we're feeling pretty good. Like, I won't feel like the need to channel that. Well, that also kind of works, I guess. Let us play this named Green. Then I can just Once Upon a Time, but I think I'd rather ramp here. So I can Once Upon a Time next turn. And then we will put in Radiant Fountain. No, Radiant Fountain enters untapped. We'll Bajuka Bog. We'll exile our own graveyard. Big bummer. It could have Orcish Bowmaster me. Yeah. I forget that card. I love that card. Why do I keep forgetting it's legal? I just figured the deck playing Leyline in Sanctity was on some bullshiz. But nah, they're Bowmastering. Opter? Bobble? Are you feeling okay? You just had those loaded up in your hand. You just didn't want to play them? Why? Somebody hurt this person. But did you just play main board Leyline in Sanctity? You're in some pain, big dog. Someone will have to come along and help you. It just won't be me. There's Radiant Fountain here. I guess I'll just cast a Once Upon a Time. Doesn't draw. Spelunking will, so the Orcish Bowmaster could trigger. Which is kind of what I want to avoid if I can. But do we care? Like, comparatively, of course. Do we care? I don't think so. I'll draw another card to potentially give my Titan haste. Then this will trigger. We'll get shot for one. They'll make another Bowmaster. Or another army. Which is like all fine and good. Like, it sucks, obviously. But now we're any other land away from starting to make Field of the Dead tokens. They don't Thoughtseize me here. They're in for a really bad time. Springleaf Drum, sure. Yes, we still just do the right thing. We name Giant. I don't think the value is going to matter as much. But with them having this and potentially making a blue. Green. I genuinely don't even care. I much rather just ensure. I much rather ensure that my Cavernous Soul mana is going to be used. To be honest with you. Like, I'd rather my Cavernous Soul mana guarantee be used just in case they have a blue. I don't think they do. I'm just saying in case. Haywire, and then Stomping Ground. Enter tap, but you will not enter tapped. Field of the Dead triggers. And then we will give the Primeval Titan haste. We'll attack. And honestly, we're going to grab... I probably should just grab the gate that can kind of like fetch or whatever. Seek. We'll probably just grab this Seeking Gate. And then another Field of the Dead. Make 4 more zombies. And then we can make 4 more. But then we can seek and find something better. So it's not like we really have to keep making zombies when we're going to already be so far ahead. One who goes first. Razor and the Spelunking always feels good. Obviously, we have the big goofy doofy in hand, but I think we call it a good time regardless. They maul, we'll keep. Lurus decks, we can pretty much beat most of the time. It's just whether or not they are a... Wow, bobble off the rip and then play land. Okay, no fetch land, sure. Fine. Play here, we'll play here. We'll just put in the castle, I guess. We could have thinned if we wanted to, but it's not probably going to be too relevant here. Island, blue, black. That's all fine. We have a cavern for this. Drown the Locks available. Memory Lapse is available, I suppose. Stifle's available here. So we'll fetch. Fine opponent. It is. Okay. We could grab the gate. Put this enters tap. So we're going to grab the basic forest. I'm going to throw a Spelunking on the stack. Relax, brother. Not that serious. Holy. I mean, I was fiending to put that thing in play. Holy cow. Relax. It's not that serious. Holy. Our opponent wanted that card to play now, bro. Right now. Oh, that was funny. I barely put my card on the stack before they snapped it off. We block here in case they play another Bowmaster. I don't want them to be able to shoot down my Grazer. I'd rather take 1 more damage to prevent extra damage in the long run, I think. But I could be wrong. I don't know. We have a castle. We have one of those. What if we fire off one of these? It's all good. Drown the Lock, still not good. Good memory lapse me, I guess. But I don't really care. Oh, do we grab Titan or do we grab Field of the Dead? I think it has to be Titan, right? So we can just get Field of the Deads. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely just Titan here. Play this. A Hetch. We'll go put in... Go grab the gate. It enters on tap because of our Spelunking, and then we just pass. And it's weird. Yeah, so I knew they had another Bowmaster. Look at us go. And on one hand, they're going to be like, counterspell. We'll block here. This is another situation where, like, arena tapping will make me very upset. So I'm going to play a Cavern. I'm going to name Giant. And I'm going to use a green here. A green here. You seeked? No, bro. Oh, and I just wanted to use my Cavern mana. I'm so mad, dude. I know Arena is going to not use my Cavern on purpose, and that's what's so annoying. It's just knowing that it's not going to use my Cavern. So now we have to try to win, but the problem is they can Archmage Charm me, and I can die because of it. Ugh, dude, I'm so tilted. Play Field of the Dead. Trigger Field of the Dead. Why is it over here, dude? I hate that. Green. Play Titan. I'm so mad right now. Uncounterable. We'll go grab a Radiant Fountain. Radiant Fountain. Stomping Ground. Enter tap. Sure. Feel the dead triggers. The problem is they can Archmage Charm me and make me draw cards. And then their Orcish Bowmaster will kill me. But they're probably going to remove my Titan right now, regardless. No. Okay. So, we'll go first. I will keep... I'm going to fire off this Once Upon a Time. A lot of times you don't want to here, but if I could find an accelerator and then hit the Spelunking right away, that would feel great. Yeah, see? Exactly. So, do that. I guess... shock this in. Why not? Like Razor. We'll put in a Colony Garden. Making another creature. And then we'll play Blast Zone. Put Spelunking in play. Oh, the mirror, huh? I love the mirror. It's my favorite. Fly. The mirrors are weird because, like, this mirror especially is just kind of like whoever curves out better does something better. We find a natural order, so arguably that's us. Arguably. Well, there's the land I wanted to fetch. Yeah, so we'll just put in this. Fetch. Forest. No. But we get to put in Titan and give it haste, which is rad. There's their battlements. They Sylvan Scrying. I cut all the copies of Sylvan Scrying. I think it's like awkwardly too slow. I'd much rather just be doing stuff. We added some other things instead, like bump some numbers in different places. But yeah, so we will play a gate here. Then we'll cast a natural order, getting rid of our plant. Then we will go get Prime Evil Titan. Evil Titan comes in. We take this action. And we go and we grab battlements plus a Sunken Citadel. We name a red on the Citadel. We activate. Give this haste. Then we move to combat. We attack with this. Triggering it again. And then now we just go grab 2 Field of the Deads. Yeah. Then we make 4 zombies. So now we have a big back door open in terms of all the threats we have. And if we find another natural order or a way to look, which we do have a gate to activate, we hit a Crater Hoof Behemoth. We absolutely slam here. They natural order. They could get a prime time, but they don't have a Spelunking in play. So their turn is going to pretty much end with grab 2 lands and then really do nothing. Honestly, here, I'm just going to sack Blast Zone, because then they block here, and then they take 8. That's not even enough. Colony Garden to give them an extra blocker. Yeah. So, yes. I cannot sack Blast Zone yet. Yeah. So, we play Castle. Make more zombies. We do this. Take the action. And then we will grab whatever lands we need. Keep throw a Once Upon a Time away. Don't you dare thought seize me. I mean, if they thought seize me, we fire off the Once Upon a Time and just grab like a land probably. Grabbing a castle. I'm just grabbing lands. You can take my grazer only. So, lead off the castle, which weirdly enough counts as a forest. So the castle Cairnbrig will lead off the gate. The castle Cairnbrig actually counts. Oh man, it's Storm, huh? That's to add extra black mana on your combo turns, and also to get the Stitcher cooking first. Am I just dead? You have it? Well, you need a red, I guess, to play Underworld Breach. So you can unearth. Oh, that's gross. There's tendrils. It would be so funny in this one spot to just be like Bajuka Bog, exile all your stuff. Play Colony Garden. We will slowly get there. Probably lose, to be honest with you. But they have... They have... What is the spell? Oh, they're going to go get it now. Sure. Jukabog off of the top, please. One time. Uno mas. If it's not, we automatically lose. Jukabog in these next 5 cards. Heck yeah, dog. I'd like to target you. You have a Tendrils of Agony in there, which is normally played as a one of. That is your win condition. So hopefully, that's enough. But it might not be, because I don't know. We lucked out. We hit the Bajuka Bog. But the amount of times I've like lost to this deck just because they like do the thing. Claim and sacking it so I can't natural order it. That's hurtful. But fair enough. I mean, that also makes sense. Sure. Now it's just like play land, play Primeval Titan. They do play Thought Seizes. They all just gone. Looks like they're all just gone. Well, not gone, but like they just don't have them, I guess. Yeah. So I have the double green. It doesn't really matter. Let's just play this. So next turn I can do my thing. Take this action. We will go grab. What do I need? I have no idea. I literally have no clue. I need a Field of the Dead plus land that's not Colony Garden. Blast Zone, sure. Make my zombies. The reason I needed to not be Colony Gardens because I wanted my Field of the Dead to trigger so I'd have more creatures to start attacking my opponent. But could have done it any other way, probably. The reason I wanted to grab Colony Garden was because then I'd have a green creature to natural order, and they give a second Primeval Titan haste. But looks like I'm not going to get there. They're going for the beatdown plan. They're going to try to do it. I respect it. I just don't know if it matters. Can I seek here? Not mess that up. One. What am I doing? I just have a blast zone. I'll just sack everything. Yeah, play a Field of the Dead. I don't care. Move to combat. Attack here. The action. Field of the Dead plus Colony Guard. Sure. Now I'll pass. Huh? I guess this is best of one, so in some instances you can imagine that they probably will play more than one Tendrils. You never know. But without the Dragon Race Chandler, it is sometimes hard to keep the graveyard going. We'll see. Gosh, they shock. Stitcher enters. Quite funny that we hit their tendrils, by the way. My opinion. Sure. Bob this. No, you out. He's going to get the Stitcher regardless, but they're going to use this to make the mana, I guess. Alright. You have all those cards back. You have 9 cards left. You have 3 minutes. Do you not have a Dark Ritual? Not Dark Ritual? Yeah. 1. No Dark Ritual? Maybe they do have another Tendrils and I just don't know it. It could. I mean, there's 8 cards left. We went and got a Dark Ritual. We'll let them storm here, I guess. Wondering if I did have lethal with natural ordering a Crater Hoof out. Crater Hoof would have attacked, and I would have had... Obviously, a lot of these entered and off of my Primeval Titan attack. But Crater Hoof plus these, plus like 4 more zombies probably would have been enough for lethal. I just didn't count, because I just didn't think it mattered. They're comboing, they're trying. Storm count's at 10. We'll watch this to see what their storm count's at. Okay, team? Watch this so we know. They have another tendrils. I'm super dead. So they don't have to go any further. You only need tendrils for only need tendrils for 10 copies to get somebody at 20 HP. But they drew cards and did some stuff, so we gotta actually look now. There's none in there. Yeah, I think they were just trying to combo to see if I concede, but I know what Decklist they copied because I also watched the Timeless tournament today, and I saw the Storm deck. If you don't know, I think it was Nathan Stewart, not the most recent Pro Tour champ, but I think the one prior to that. He won that one, and I think he was in the finals before. Played Rakdos Storm, like this person is playing, and if they copied the exact list, which I would probably trust a Pro Tour champion as well with the exact list. It played 1 Tendrils of Agony, so because you don't want to draw too many copies and you have plenty of ways to tutor it out, so like why wouldn't you do that? So when we saw the Tendrils go in there and we hit the Bazooka Bog, I figured the match was just over. And then sometimes when you're playing Storm, you still just like kind of go through it because your opponent might get bored and just leave, and then you win that way. But I'm not in the mood to leave. Okay. So we came back and we played Titan once again. The main reason I ended up playing this today instead of playing something standard, which I had planned to do, is just time. Like the Friday to Saturday is my hardest time to film a video because I have to go into work earlier than I normally do, 2 hours earlier than I normally do on a Saturday. And Saturday is an 11-hour day of working, so it's kind of hard for me to like wait too long to play, and this deck's very fast and we can get a lot of games in with it. So I was just like, let me play something. It's not easy by any stretch. Like, it is easy, but doing stuff optimally is hard. So forgive me if I made a couple of misplays throughout the video. I'm pretty tired. It's 1 in the morning and I have to go back to work after working 10-hour day today. So trying to film, do stuff. The main thing that we ended up adding and cutting is we cut the Sylvan Scryangs out of the deck entirely. I think spending 2 mana to go find a land is a little bit tough, especially when we already have Kami here that we can channel and get 2 lands directly. So right now we're on 30 lands in total. I think we ended up adding a couple And then we changed a lot of the lands. You'll notice if you watch my last video to now, you'll look through the land base. We changed kind of a lot of it. But we can get even more lands with these, so we don't have to do anything. And because we can channel this, it doesn't actually get countered by the Chalice of the Void. Chalice of the Void, I think, is a hidden card that people do not realize is legal in this format. I think some people forgot to even change because it's a part of one of the anthologies. Because I saw none today in the Timeless tournament, I don't think, and a lot of people were playing Luris. So Chalice is really good in the main board. And the Titan decks, a lot of times, just did it anyway. Because the reason, like, we were really soft against burn. I'm talking about modern Titan, by the way, when they were doing this. You're really soft to burn regardless of what you do. You just don't have the time to do the thing. So we put Chalice in play. And we would put Chalice on 1 quite often. We would use this card to stop our opponent from doing anything. And if you have a Chalice in your opener and your opponent is showing you Luris, slam that thing on 1. Just every single time. Just 1. And sometimes your opponent will concede right away. I think we had that happen. I think I played Chalice on 1 3 times today against a Luris player, and they scooped immediately. They drew a card for their turn, and then they kind of highlighted Chalice because a lot of Timeless players have never seen Chalice before, or Arena players, because, like, as you can see, it's kind of banned pretty much everywhere, and playing it in Commander is kind of tough because you can't really meet the requirement a lot of times. But in this format, you just play it on 1, they cast 1 spell, and immediately counters it, and then they realize their entire hand is 1 mana spells, and they get up and leave. So that's great. It also stops the Storm decks pretty solidly because you just play this and then now they don't get the mana off their Dark Rituals because this will counter it. But other than that, we have the Grazer and then we can channel this. Obviously, we play 8 1-mana spells to see if it feels like a non-bow, but we can channel this. And channel is discarding and it does not cast this. Therefore, Chalice will not actually interact with it and will not counter it. We keep the Once Upon a Time in as a free spell because, I mean, look at all the formats it's banned in. It's banned in those formats for a reason, you know what I'm saying? And so that's great. We went up or down on one of these. We split these. I don't remember what it was, but we ended up splitting these just so we have Spelunking a little bit more often on that 3-drop slot or turn 2 slot whenever we play these on turn 1. So our Spelunking's actually better. Obviously, 4 natural orders, what the deck's trying to do. And then we added Crater Hoof Behemoths. This was recommended to me in the comments, and I was like, this card's legal? I didn't know that. Like, I literally didn't know. I don't play Commander on here because obviously the rare wild card system is a little too much for us to just buy in. Like, to play Commander, you have so many rares and alchemy cards you have to craft and whatnot. I just can't do that. So, I had one of these somehow. I just had one. So, I have a Crater Hoof in the deck because it wins games. And then I kept the Titan of Industry because it is best of 1, and the life gain is actually pretty important a lot of times, so I actually kept it in. And then we got the 4 Primeval Titans, my favorite card in the deck list, because, like, you could argue it's natural order, but realistically it has to be Titan because we're natural ordering for a Titan. It's Titan. But in the lands category, as you can see, we go down. We actually trimmed on the fetch lands. We tried not to take as much damage from fetching. And we went down on the Sunken Citadels because we don't need them too often. We have them to activate Castle Garenbrig, and if we're ramping with the lower 1-drops, we don't really need it that much. We're still on 3 Field of Deads because 3 is a lot for any opponent to handle, and if your opponent submits control, you automatically win because you have Field of Dead in your list a lot of times. We went up on Cavern of Souls to kind of ensure that we can play a Titan uncounterably or Crater Hoof Behemoth uncounterably. And early, by the way, we can name Grazer, or we can name Beast with the Grazer, and then play a Crater Hoof later in the game. Also, very interesting thing, if you do not know how it works, Chalice of the Void counters a spell. Why does that matter? Cavern of Souls later, for example, if we're loaded up on these and we have a Cavern in play, we can just play it, name Beast. It's also something you can do. So say turn 1, you play this and you want to play a Chalice on 1, but we still have a Grazer. If we have to play a tap land, you can play a Cavern later, name Beast, and with this Chalice in play on 1, we can still cast an Arboreal Grazer through it because Chalice counters and Cavern makes it uncounterable. So there is a little bit of like a synergy plan there that you want, that you can get with this. So keep that in mind. We also added Lair of the Hydra. Lair of the Hydra is a creature. It is also a green creature. We can bring this up for 2 mana, a green and 1, and then have it come in. It can actually tap for itself. We only need 1 other mana for it. And then we can use it as natural order fodder and throw it in the bin. Or we can also bring it up if we're going to play a Crater Hoof Behemoth and have it as an additional threat. Colony Garden is at a 2 of. Some people are playing it as a 4 of. I just didn't want to be playing 32 lands. I wanted to thicken up my 3-drop slot. My dog is trying to become part of the video. Hi, Sadie. What? What's your deal? What's your deal? We'll go outside in a second. Give me a minute. Sorry, my dog's attacking me. But other than that, we still have the Battlements plan and the Castle plan to play our stuff early. I hope you all enjoyed overall. And this is the deck list I'm currently on. This deck list I like playing the most after also watching the Timeless Tournament. If you haven't seen that, there's also an open qualifier for it where you can sign up to play in it if you would like. I'm not sponsored by it or whatever. I just think it's a really cool thing that Onrog and Will Hall are doing. They're commentating it. So if you want your chance to play a timeless format and playing it, I think the winner gets $1,000. So that's also cool. So you should definitely go check that out. It was streamed on Twitch by a lot of people, especially anybody playing in it. And then outside of that, you can probably watch it on YouTube later. So I hope you all enjoyed today's video, and you should definitely go check that out. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you around in the next one. Goodbye.